So Cathy, what's been happening with the Imagineering project?
It's been fantastic. Aside from you, so Bronwen and quite a few other people helping, I've had so much interest, which has been brilliant. Hayley Solich from Golden Pen, that's been fantastic. I've had a few articles come out in her magazine and also on her website. And we did a video interview a couple of weeks ago, which should be launched pretty soon. And also, so do you know about the Bali, when I was up in Bali?
I heard that you were going, but
Okay.
what were the actual fruits of that?
Okay, it was fantastic. What I did was the first session was on basic finances. The group of girls, the foundation is called Bali Wise, and they are basically mostly girls from an orphanage, but they're too old for the orphanage now. So they've joined a program which is brilliant, where they do a 3 or a 6 month course for hospitality. And then at the end of it, once they pass the course, then they'll get picked up by one of the 5-star resorts that actually sponsor the program. So each Friday they have a guest speaker. So I went in and I did to complement their life skills program, I did a session on the money management at a basic level. And then we did an afternoon session with the Imagineering to a Better World. So with that, the girls could say, okay, so some of the examples were I want to get work as a waitress or as a housekeeper in a 5-star resort. The solution for them was to study hard, to pass the course that they were doing, or to learn a lot, which was great. Then they signed it, and then they partnered for each other, and then we created a big banner, so that's on their wall in their school classroom, which is fantastic.
So why do you actually get them to sign it? What's that about?
Just an accountability thing. A lot of people these days, they make a promise, but they don't keep the promise. They just don't think it's important. Whereas I realised, even going back 11 years ago, that there is power in commitment. And if you do, like I see it more like a covenant. So if you make a commitment and then you have somebody else to witness it, so it's like a statutory declaration, that you're actually saying, okay, this is my intention, I will do my utmost to keep it. So there's power in that, and then you have a friend or someone who can keep you accountable, which is the 4th step, which is partner. Mm-hmm.
So do you see this as an important part of getting people to take up their dreams?
Absolutely. It's just been lovely. As an example, I've done it with so many individuals or very, very small groups, and then sometimes with bigger groups. Just last week, as an example, I was speaking to one person, and he was basically, he was a student, at the age of a student, and he said that his vision, he had 2. One of them was to find school easier. And then it turned out when he went through the solution, it was actually he could listen better, become more teachable and more humble. So because he'd left his school thinking he was going off and doing great things, and then he's actually had to go back to the same school, which is, sort of feels like sometimes living like the tail between your legs. And then it was just fantastic, because the analogy I gave him was that just like he loves Roger Federer, and I just said, okay, well, imagine Roger Federer, he got to this level, but then he got quite arrogant, and then he had a bit of a fall, but when he got to the bottom, that's when he became a champion, because that's when he became humble, became teachable, and that's when he went up, and it was fantastic. Another example actually flew up north, I don't know, just about a week and a half ago now, and was doing a couple of seminars up there. One of them I used the Imagineering project steps to set it all up, and one of the students came up to me after and said, I can change the world. And I said, yes,
It's
that's your job.
fabulous.
Get on with it. And he was so excited. He just didn't know that he could bring in, his life experience and all these different things. So, yeah, just each day I find it's in small ways with individuals. And I say small because it's on an individual level, but for them it is huge, but also the impact becomes a ripple effect.
So do you find this actually growing?
Yeah. Hayley Solich from Golden Pen, she has been magnificent. So her last issue, I got the project got a mention on the front page, plus there was an article in there explaining the steps and things. And then there's been a few follow-up articles and things, and a video interview with that one. That's all with Golden Pen. And then I've had a lot of interest from different places around the world. One of them, and again these are not confirmed, but it's looking pretty good. One was a quite a senior policeman from a country in Africa, and he was just discussing, saying, crime prevention is just such a big issue, and he was just saying, what could they do, and it was so frustrating. And so I mentioned about the project and how somebody else had taken it forward to a government department and looking at it, so it could be for leadership, it could be
Believe it's so sweet.